Hello students. In my last video, we have studied about the food chain and the food webs. We have seen how the organisms are going to be connected with each other through a link that is nothing but the food. This food is not only keeping the organisms connected but also it is the source for energy transfer. The energy transfers from one trophic level to the next, from the producers to the consumers through the food. Flow of energy is always unidirectional. It is flowing in only one single direction. And this is going to be possible through the food. So we have studied about all this in my last video. Today we are going to be starting with the next part, and that is population and community ecology. Here you can say we are moving a step forward. Until now we have dealt only about the organism. What an organism needs, how it is surviving, what are the factors influencing the organism. We have studied only about one single organism. But now onwards, we are studying about a group of organisms. When these organisms are coming in a group, because no organism can stay in isolation. All the organisms are going to be staying in connection with each other. They are going to be interacting with each other to form a group, and that group is going to be nothing but your population. So we will deal about the community in my next video, but today let us see what is population. Population, this question when arises, remember the previous videos that I had sent you when I was telling you about the organization of the ecosystem. We can see that we are going to be made up of cells, cells coming together into tissues, tissues into organs, organs into organ systems, and organ systems making an organism. Now, when these organisms are coming together, they are making the population. When populations are coming together, it makes a community, and when these communities are coming together, it makes a ecosystem. So today we are going to be dealing with the population. So let us see what do you mean by the population. So nature exists at several levels of complexity. What is a population? The individuals that belong to the same species and live in a given area at a particular time is called a population. For example, population of the human beings in India or population of people in India. So that is what? Human beings are belonging to the same species, living where in the given area, that is India, at a particular time, maybe now in the 2021. So in this manner, when we are talking about the number of population or number of species which are going to be belonging to the same species, which can interbreed with each other, which are able to produce the fertile offsprings. So these type of same species, when they are going to be coming together, when they are going to be present together, they are going to be called as a population when they are present in a given area at a given time. In the same manner, what is community? So just a short definition I have put here. So all of the populations of organisms within an area or a given area are called as community. So what is population ecology then? The study of the factors that causes populations to increase or decrease is known as population ecology. Now when I say population, when compared to an organism will take birth, will grow and will die. So only that much will be there. But when a population we are going to be taking into account, a population is not taking birth or neither it is dying. It is a continuous phenomenon only what can occur? Increase in the population and decrease in the population can take place. So that is nothing but all those are going to be studied into the population ecology. So this is how we can see an individual organism is called as an organism. So individual species, when these species are living together, they are going to be called as a population. When different populations are staying, interacting among themselves are known as community. Such communities together are making the ecosystem, and the ecosystems together are making the biosphere. Coming to the population. So when I am saying population, populations are having some distinctive characters which an organism will not be having. So there are around 5 basic characteristics of a population. What are they? Let us see. First one is the population size. Population size is the total number of individuals within a defined area at a given time. So suppose I am going to be having an area. In this area, how many number of the species are going to be present at a given time? That is going to be called as a population size. It is going to be denoted by capital N. Then what is population density? So the population density is the number of individuals per unit area at a given time. Population size and population density are going to be somewhat same. But only thing, what is population size? Total number of individuals present in a given area. And population density means we are specifying that area. We are taking per unit area in a given unit area. For example, square meters or inch square meters or any given area, how many number of species are going to be there is going to be called as density. Density is nothing but what we call as ghanatva. Like in that area, suppose I am going to be having 1 glass of water. In that I am adding 1 tablespoon of sugar. So that sugar increases the density of the water. So that is density is nothing but how much amount is going to be present in that area. So that is density. Then population distribution is another concept here. The description of how individuals are distributed with respect to one another. Sex ratio. In the organism, an organism can either be a male or a female. But in a population, there is ratios, that is number of males to the number of females. 40% of the class is males, 60% of the class is females. So we are having a comparison in a population. We don't have a specific number or a specific sex, whether it is going to be a male or a female. Age structure. In the age structure, we can see if it is an organism, it can be a baby, it can be a middle age, it can be a reproductive age, or it can be old age. But in the case of the population, a age structure is there. Population is going to be having the individuals of all the ages. In a population, there can be small babies are there, maybe there are reproductive people are there, maybe the parents are there, maybe the old age people are there. So in this manner, there is no particular age, but here we are having the age categories in the population. So these are going to be some of the distinctive characteristics of the population. Now, coming to the next part here is population density that you have to study. So once again, what is population density? So population density is going to be nothing but a measurement of the number of people in an area. How many people are there in that area? It is an average number, you can say. And it is usually shown as the number of people per square kilometer. So density can be calculated as population by area. So how many number of species are there in that given area? Population density is the total population size. How much is the total population size in the per unit area? And this population density is depending upon several factors like interactions with the environment, quality of the habitat, density dependent factors, and density independent factors. Suppose if it is more crowded, the population size tend to decrease due to the lack of food resources. Suppose if the living place is not good, suppose there is going to be a forest and you are doing the deforestation, cutting down the forest, then probably maybe the number of elephants in that forest may decrease. So population density of the elephants may decrease due to the deforestation. So that is quality of the habitat. You have to give a proper place for a population so that it can grow. Then there is something known as carrying capacity here. It is nothing but the maximum number of organisms that can be supported in a given habitat. No organism can grow exponentially. Exponentially means you cannot have any organism which is growing continuously. Nature is having its own ways to control the population. If it was not so, then human survival only would have not possible. Because all the other organisms like lions, tigers, elephants, all these are strong, so they could have dominated the earth. Dinosaurs who could have never left the earth if it was not there. So this population density, that is the carrying capacity, it is there, which is going to be helping the ecosystem to support the maximum number of species. After that, the population is not allowed to increase. For example, you can take your human population only. Human population goes on increasing. We are with good brain, so population, we are fighting with the nature, we are increasing population, increasing. But to what extent? Today we have seen that we have reached the maximum and now the population, human population is tending to decrease due to various factors like diseases, natural calamities and various other reasons. So population size can be measured by several sampling techniques which you don't have to study. Now coming to the population size. So as I told you, population density and population size are one and the same. But herein, in population genetics and population ecology, population size is the number of individuals, organisms in the population. And this is going to be governed by factors like the crude birth rate, also going to be called as the natality now. So what is going to be the natality? Natality is going to be nothing but the crude birth rate, and the crude death rate is nothing but the mortality, what we call it. So mortality that is there, it is going to be the number of deaths. Then there are two other factors, that is immigration and immigration. How they are connected to population size or population density, let us see. What is natality? The birth rate, which is the ratio of total live births to total population in a particular area over a specified period of time. So when I am saying natality, it is the number of birth, means suppose I am going to be having a pond. Okay, suppose I am going to be having a pond. In this pond, there are going to be around 8 lotus that are going to be there. How many lotus? 8 lotus are there. Next year, I will leave it for 1 year and I will come next year. When I am coming next year, there are 10 lotus present in that pond. So when I am talking about the natality or population density, here we are not seeing who has given birth to that lotus. What is important to us? Last year it was 8, now it has become 10. So here we are taking average of the population. We don't want who has given birth to that lotus, but there is increase due to new lotus. That is what we are seeing. So natality is the birth rate, which is the ratio of total life. How many are living? Births to total population. How many were there? How much it has gone? So in a particular area, over a specified period of time, like I gave you the example 1 year. Then what is mortality? Mortality is the death rate, which is also the ratio of the total number of deaths to the total population. So what is mortality? Just opposite of the natality. In the same, suppose I am taking the pond, this year the 10 are there, last year 8 were there. When I am coming next year, maybe only 5 lotus are left over there. So who died, why died, that is not important. But what has happened? My population size has decreased from 10 to 5. So how many I have lost? Due to death, that is 5. That becomes the mortality. So the death rate, which is also the ratio of the total number of deaths to the population. To the population I am talking about, not an individual. Then what is immigration? Immigration is going to be the number of organisms moving into an area occupied by the population is called as immigration. For this, let us take an example of the birds. Birds, like in the nations like Siberia, when it is extreme cold over there, the Siberian birds are migrating to our national parks, like in Rajasthan, Kaleido National Park we are having. Siberian birds are coming from the Siberia North Pole to the Rajasthan Kaleido National Park for migratory activities. That is, during that season the North Pole is very cold, hard for survival. So what they are doing? They have come into our area. But the stay is not permanent. Only for that time the number of birds, the population density increases only for that particular time. It is known as immigration, incoming. So the number of organisms moving into an area occupied by a population is called immigration. So immigration, the second one immigration, only the spellings are changed. Here I call it as I immigration and this is E immigration. So the number of organisms moving out of the area occupied by the population. So same example, when these birds are coming here to Rajasthan, what happens to the Siberia over there? The number of population density of birds decreases because the birds have moved out from there. So that is immigration. You have to concentrate mainly on the natality and the mortality, but 4 parameters are necessary if you have to understand the population density. Because population density or population size is not a static parameter. It keeps on changing depending upon these factors. Which factors? They are the natality, mortality, I immigration and E immigration. So whenever there is going to be natality and immigration, there is going to be increase in the population size. Because in the natality, there is new birth, new production is taking place, so increases. In the immigration, from external populations are coming, for example, bird migrations. So here there is population density is increasing, population size is increasing. But whenever there is mortality, that is maybe death rate is there, the population decreases. When the organisms are going out to another habitat, the population size, population density decreases. So herein the births and immigration are going to be leading to the increase in the population, whereas the immigration, e-immigration and death, suppose this is going to be there, this hawk is coming and eating this bird. So what has happened to the population density due to this? Death decreases. So we can summarize it as whenever there is the natality and the immigration, population size increases. When there is immigration and mortality, population size decreases. Hence, the population density, that is population change, can be called as birth plus immigration minus death plus immigration is going to be giving us the population size or population density. It will tell us how much is the density of the population in that particular area in that particular time. So that is the population density. So that is all about the population density. Now how this population density can be controlled or how we can study them? We can study them using the growth curves. There are 2 types of growth curves, exponential or J-shaped growth curve and the sigmoid growth curve or the logistic growth curve. In your syllabus, we are having one, that is sigmoid growth curve, but you have to have the knowledge of the other also. So both of these growth curves, how they are related to the population density, we will see this in the next video.